Zach, why are you afraid of clowns?
No, stop.
Why? I just want to talk about it.
You don't want to actually intro it or anything?
I don't know how to intro it.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Welcome
everybody.
to the podcast.
Everybody, Zach's afraid of clowns. Let's talk about that. Blair is my name. This is Brody, and that's Zach.
Okay.
I pointed at them.
I'm afraid of clowns.
All right, you know what, Blair? Just go into it.
Hey, the last time I got to drag a chair. Do you want me to do that?
Did you like that?
I did.
Is our intro
I
just
fucking
going to be
love
Blair going on a tirade and then like start?
it. Zach, why are you afraid of clowns?
It's part childhood trauma and part just the concept of clowns is really weird to me. I don't know. My mom will argue this tooth and nail and say that she didn't forget me, but she forgot me.
She knew exactly where you were. She just wasn't there too.
Forgot you where?
I was there's this little carnival that would come to town in our hometown, and me and my brother are on Holy Nightmares. So she took, and like we would never went to it because it's a cash grab. It's a sinkhole of money, and it's also dirty and a little bit scary.
Are you talking about the Sears Fair?
No, the Kingsman Not Fair. But like my mom finally cracked and took me and my brother, and me and my brother were just unholy nightmares. Just like one of us went one way, one of us went the other way, and then when we were together, we were punching each other in the face. So like my mom was just like, "We're leaving," and she left. Except she only brought one of us, and
Obviously, the favorite one.
the favorite one. So the least favorite one, pointing at myself, was left in the middle of the auditorium, and the only adult that was like with me was this clown who thought I'm going to cheer this kid up because he's scared and alone, and I'm just gonna clown around him to make him smile and not be the adult that he needs.
You can't be a responsible adult when you're a clown. You just can't do it.
No, and like, yeah, and he wouldn't find another adult for me to be like, I think he was like, yo, call this kid's parents. And then while we were waiting for my mom, it felt like forever. It was probably literally my mom got in the car, was in the parking lot, and was like, oh, Zach, and like ran to find me. And, but this clown just wouldn't leave me alone when I just wanted my mom or an adult to hold me and say, your mom is coming, don't worry.
Because you can't break character as a clown.
Yeah.
Like, if a clown were to find a wallet and have to return it, he would also have to, like, pull out a series of wallets tied to the one wallet
And
he
then
has to return, and then honk his nose while he hands it to the police officer.
As you're walking away, he just blast you with seltzer water.
Exactly.
And yeah, that was just it. So I was just like, that really gave me a dislike for clowns. And then around, again, childhood, I watched It.
Well, I mean, that's enough to
That
give
sort of
anyone.
just cements it.
Yeah. But I've just never understood fears of clowns because it's just, to me, it's like, it's a man with a painted face. Sure, there's the whole, like, stranger like thing. But it's never been all that malicious.
I think it's the air of mystery and like hidden identity that comes with the face paint.
I think it's just like how obviously put on and fake the clown is, down to its makeup, to its behavior and everything. You're just like, this isn't a person. This isn't a person.
It's an act. He's performing as a
Who
character.
are you,
or a
person underneath
creature.
all of that? And then I saw It, and I'm like, oh, the person underneath all of that
is a giant alien
is
spider.
a giant alien spider that wants to eat everything.
Is that its normal form?
I think so.
Weird.
Hey, spoilers or something. I don't care. The book is so old,
like,
and the
yeah.
movie, the TV movie is just as old.
Every
It's
time
even older.
I close my eyes,
No,
I
it's not.
see. Was it Tim Curry?
Yeah.
I see Tim Curry in the gutter being like, "Hey, Timmy, come here."
Every
time I close my eyes, that's all I see.
everything floats down here or something.
Yeah.
You know the scariest thing about It for me was his hands.
Just the
He was like a clown, but then he had these like green, gross hands. Bleh.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
That's what happens when you have 8 legs trying to be hands.
well, it's terrifying because he could appear places if it was running.
8 legs trying to be hands. Sorry.
That's the clown autobiography.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah. Let's keep talking about clowns. Let's keep talking about
Okay,
clowns.
no.
See, this is why clowns are so effective. Even if they're scary, they're fucking funny.
And it's like, it's one of those things where for me, it's just never been a fear. And I think with a fear of clowns, there's so many people you meet who are I'm so afraid of clowns. I go, but why?
It's not like I'm not going to run in terror when I see a clown. I'm going to see a clown doing his clown thing, and I'm going to say, I don't want to go around that. I mean,
is it because it's easier to say I think
it's easier to say I'm afraid than I dislike clowns.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, yeah, people are like, okay, cool, you're afraid. Let's not go hang out with the clown. And I'm like, thank you. But instead it's just like this clown's just like, rah, 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 and I'm just like looking around like, are we all part of this fever dream that is this clown honking his nose at me? I'm cracking Brody up today. I'm having a lot of fun.
This is awesome.
But I imagine for some people, it's the idea that like clowns, because Gacy was a serial killer.
He dressed up as.
You can't say that.
Again, Gacy. Yeah.
That sound was me smacking Zack on the forehead.
But it's like there's a lot of serial killer and murderers kind of tied in cultural. And I think it's easier to say I'm afraid of clowns than I'm afraid of serial killers who paint their face to get into places to like steal children, kill them.
Yeah,
them.
it's
that's also a lot more convoluted than just saying a clown.
Or like I'm afraid of someone breaking into my house, cutting my face off, and wearing it home.
It's like, I'm afraid of psychopaths is what my real fear is. Whether it's just a normal clown being a normal clown, or if it's a crazy person being... Clowns are crazy people no matter how you shake it. It's just, is it ha-ha crazy, or is it stab me and steal my...
Or is it
crazy?
You could have gone with everything and you went with dick. Okay.
Of course you went with
dick. We're going to get Freudian in a moment. No. But is it like because people are like, oh, I'm afraid of people killing people, and it's just the fastest, quickest, most flamboyant way to be like, oh, that's a scary kind of killer would be someone who dressed up as a clown rather than someone who dressed up like Rush Limbaugh? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm kind of afraid of Nixon because of all the bank robbers stealing like the Nixon mask thing.
Nixon, yeah.
I'm kind of afraid of him.
You know, I feel like the Nixon masks are just terrible. His nose wasn't that big, was it?
I don't know.
Anyways, did you ever see Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
My uncle worked on that.
Congratulations.
Is that
Is
that a real thing?
Yeah, it's a horror film from the 80s.
That's great.
It's hilarious.
It's great. What are you doing those pies, boy?
Oh, yeah. No, I loved it. I thought it was a great film.
It's fun.
No, I'm not going to watch it. And it's not even going to be because like I'm scared. I'm going to watch it and be like, clowns are horrible.
Yeah, I guess.
What are you afraid of, Brody?
Fuck everything.
Are you afraid of... How do you guys feel about snakes?
No.
I don't care.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Because I don't understand it. Also, I don't understand your fear.
I understand the fear of snakes. Look at them.
Yeah. No, I get, I'm not afraid of them, why people are afraid of them.
They're slithery, they're unnatural, and unpredictable.
I'm not afraid of them.
Yeah.
So, they're fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like...
They could swallow you whole.
So you're telling me you see a rattler, you're not like... I'm not...
Oh, if I see a venomous animal, I'm going to be like a little bit weary of it.
Yeah.
But like if I see a gardener snake, I'm gonna be like, oh sweet, gardener snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like how I don't understand the fear of insects. Although I do, because
they're everywhere.
I had a fear of spiders for
it's the legs.
20 years.
I think it's the gangliness.
It's again the unnatural lookingness of it.
It's just like we are used to 2 to 4 legs.
Bipeds or quadrupeds.
Yeah.
And the second you see
octopeds.
Yeah. The second you see a bunch of legs, 8 legs trying to be hands, you just 8 legs trying to be 2 legs, it's just messed up. They're just moving so fast.
It's like when you watch a centipede move and it's just like almost a wave of movement along their legs.
Oh, it's spooky. It's like, you know what was also kind of unsettling? Mr. Krabs, whenever he ran fast because his legs were just going. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Well, I think it's the fact that because they're not bipedal or quadrupedal, they don't have to put as much emphasis into each step.
Yeah.
So they can literally turn on it, turn in the middle of a step. That's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, they're so No, I'm just making hand gestures and saying no a bunch.
No. Blair, you asked what I'm afraid of. You want me to just like list all of the phobias that I have? Because I have a lot.
What is your strangest phobia?
My strangest phobia.
Real estate agents.
Real estate agents.
Really?
Let me think. No. Well, let me think. Let me try and help me through it.
Socioeconomic collapse.
Staring too long into Zack's eyes.
No, I do that on a daily basis.
He's not afraid of it because he knows
I don't think I
dreamy.
have like if I have strange phobias, they're not ones that I can think of on the spot because like I'm afraid of heights. It makes me feel super queasy. That's probably one of my worst. It's not the fear of heights because no, it kind of is.
Is it the fear of like falling, or is it just like you're not supposed to be this high up ever?
Yeah, maybe that's it. It's just so unsettling.
Well, does it take place like? I always find that people are most like, I'm afraid of heights when you're like up a mountain cliff and there's maybe one fence stopping you. And I'm like, naturally, it's fair to be kind of nervous around the fact that your fall would take you 40 seconds and you have maybe a piece of iron stopping you.
Yeah.
Like, whereas if you're in a enclosed space that's way high up.
So here's this thing. I used to be afraid of elevators.
I didn't love it. I never
only
loved
because of the
elevators.
idea, because you can feel yourself moving and like you can feel yourself going higher.
That's a really big fear that like a lot of people have. Even people that are good with roller coasters, they hate like the drop zone rides.
Yeah, I don't like roller coasters either. So, maybe it's less the fear of heights and more the fear of falling.
Yeah.
I don't, you know what it is? I don't like the feeling of adrenaline. And this is a true thing. Because
Brody just stays in every night
well, you guys
to
know
avoid
me.
adrenaline.
I'm a homebody. I don't like the feeling of uncertainty and adrenaline. Like I don't know. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I got it.
And maybe that's where my fears come from because a lot of I'm also afraid of the dark, but that's just me being afraid of the
and having a good imagination.
Uncertainty.
Yeah, it's imagination.
We'll know what could.
And I mean, going back to our horror podcast from
3 weeks ago.
Who knows how long
going
ago.
back to our horror podcast, we talked about what films we were afraid of and why we were afraid of them. So I mean, a lot of my fears leading up to today are based around being subject to too many horror elements as a child. So like being alone in the dark is terrifying because I don't know what could be there, although obviously it's nothing. Being in big open water by myself is terrifying because, I mean,
Sharks.
you can relate to this because you're afraid of sharks.
Yeah.
Being high up is terrifying because if I fall, I'm probably going to die.
Probably.
Spiders are terrifying because they're just
8 legs.
8 legs trying to be hands.
That's going to be the name of your album, isn't it?
Yeah. One of the weirdest things is I'm not very afraid of the idea of ghosts. Like I
don't believe in them.
I am. I believe in them because I've got a very open mind, I guess.
Yeah,
to
Zack,
that kind of
you
thing.
ignorant shit.
You ignorant.
If a ghost wants to prove me wrong, it is free to haunt me.
What if you get the one ghost who's just kind of like, I'm just gonna sit and stare at your face for a while, and
Yeah.
just be like,
That was
"Hey,
the
Zack."
Dewborn ghost. He was the most chill ghost.
Yeah,
in
the
world.
Dewborn ghost was awesome.
I never. I lived there. Well, I barely lived there. I was working so
Yeah.
often. So
Yeah, no, he honestly he was so chill.
Dewborn was
He
a
didn't
house
do
that we've
much.
all lived in at some point in our life.
Yeah. I got a story about Dewborn later though, not for the podcast. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not afraid of ghosts just because I think it's just a thing.
Yeah.
Like if they're going to do something then I mean that's
I think that's the thing with me. It's like I don't believe in it, and if I'm wrong, what am I gonna do about it?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna care.
It's not something I can control.
Yeah.
Aliens is another pretty common phobia, I think. I don't
lights in the sky.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm not afraid of aliens because I love the idea of other intelligent life in the universe.
Yeah.
I don't know what are other common ones. I'm kind of claustrophobic, but not really. I mostly just don't like people hugging me a lot.
Going back to our
Brady's afraid
Freudian
of
part of
people.
this.
There's the fear of serial killers, which that's a force that's out of my control. So it's like I can't waste my time being afraid of that. Because then I won't leave the house. That becomes agoraphobia, right?
Fear of serial killers is a cool one, because I think everyone goes through this weird phase where they're kind of obsessed with serial killers because they're afraid of it, which segues into Blair knows a lot about sharks because you're so afraid of sharks.
Okay, So the connotations of phobia sometimes, I've argued this a lot recently because I just found out that my fear of sharks and my kind of general fear of the ocean is genetic. I got it from my father, who's just he just went to Hawaii and it was like, oh, you going to go in the ocean? He's like, there's sharks in the ocean. I don't want to go to the ocean. There's jellyfish in the ocean. I'm not going to go looking for trouble. Your dad's just aware of
the things that...
I'm not going to go looking for trouble. Whereas for me, I've always been afraid of things in the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's because I was such a scared kid when I was younger that I've had to build small mental checklists to be all right, here's what I can control. Here's what I can't control. Mm-hmm. If I'm in a situation where I feel uncomfortable, say elevators, right? I know generally the statistics of surviving an elevator falling from a certain height. Mm. So I can check that once I'm in the safety zone. I'm like, all right, I'm done. Yeah, and it's not something where I'm avidly watching. It's just something that goes on in my mind. And I did that enough till it's now not an issue. I got stuck in my first elevator this past week.
Oh, really?
And it was actually the easiest introduction to getting stuck in an elevator because we got to the lobby and the door opened about 4 inches and then stopped. And I'm like, guess we're stuck in an elevator until I called someone over and it was like, we were stuck in the elevator for all of 3 minutes. Yeah. Sort of thing.
Were you stuck in the elevator during one of the music trips in high school?
No.
I was stuck in an elevator with 15 people and my tuba.
Yeah.
So, you played tuba. We played tuba.
Yeah! Silent high five.
My biggest fear when it comes to getting stuck in an elevator is getting stuck in an elevator when I have to pee.
I don't think anyone would.
No, at that point, I'm just I'm going to pee myself.
I would choose my corner and go, this is it.
And if the door opens a little bit, pee out the door.
I don't want to have to deal with that. That's fucking weird.
Oh, you could pee down the side.
Yeah. Yes, you could.
Yeah.
But that's
clever.
Because you know my unpredictable bladder, both of you.
I know it very well. He's peed on me.
My biggest fear is getting stuck somewhere where I have to pee. That's my biggest fear. That's my biggest fear.
There, we found it. We delved into the psyche of Brody Curry.
That's my weirdest fear.
Now, did you pee yourself a lot as a kid?
No, I just have a very bad bladder. Going on road trips.
Chain smokes and wears nothing but sunglasses.
Because it's bad.
Fuck you.
He prefers to be called El Bladderino.
Get fucked. That bladder will knife you. No, I used to go on road trips with my parents. Road trips. They were 3-hour trips to go visit my grandparents. And it was always a big deal because I would always have to pee, and it was like, oh my god, now we have to stop. And
did Gina make fun of you every time you had to pee?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, look at the pregnant little boy. Okay.
I think it became the fact that it was a big deal. I almost became ashamed that I had to pee all the time, and now I'm just afraid about having to pee while I'm driving on the highway or getting into an elevator. I'm like, fuck, if this elevator gets stuck for more than an hour, I'm gonna piss myself. I'm gonna piss myself in front of all these people.
The first responders will be like, oh my god, let's just leave them in there.
Yeah, seriously.
Maybe the problem will go away. So, Zach, you kind of said my fear of sharks with a connotation that is negative. I don't actively fear sharks coming out of
He was just proud of the segue.
Okay.
Did you ever see Sharknado? And were you afraid of Sharknado?
No,
because that is mankind taking initiative against the shark scourge and chainsawing themselves out of shark stomachs.
So by the time I got to Sharknado, my fear of sharks was so well informed that the people being eaten in one swallow, Tara Reid's character or whatever it was, I'm just Shark stomachs don't work like that. Great white shark stomachs don't work like that.
So what scares you about a shark is the fact that they're literally built to kill?
No, it is, a number of things. But the fact of the matter is they're not entirely built to kill because it's weird. Their pupils are hard, but when they bite, their pupils roll back revealing more, at least with great whites, and most sharks actually, revealing a more sensitive like eye white. But that being said, if their mouth is extended, because their jaw isn't connected to the rest of their body, it's muscled between their jaw and the rest of their skeleton, it pushes outward. So by the time you would be able to try and reach around and stab their eye, you've just got huge jaw between you and the place you want to be stabbing.
I don't know if you actually
punch
know
in the
this.
nose.
Is that like a muscle reactive thing where like the jaw muscles and the muscles that control
The eye
their
muscles
eyes,
have to give up because the jaw muscles are going higher.
Because their jaw muscles are so strong, it's reactive that their eyes have to roll back a little bit for that to happen.
Yeah, I think so. And it took me so long to figure out, because you see photos of sharks, like great whites especially, and you're like, from one photo to another, whether their jaw is open, they don't look like the same animal at times. You're like, how does that turn into that? And it took me until I actually researched it to be like, oh, when the jaw is like shoved forward, that's a huge thing, and it changes how they look. Like their lips curl or their like mouth curls back. It's really cool.
And the jaws come out. Yeah, sharks are.
Yeah,
It's like the alien mouth.
Well, what I'm really afraid of is the fact that I don't feel as in control in water. Like I feel like I'm walking on ground day to day, where I'm like, all right, I can give it my best, sort of thing.
Yeah, every moment you're in water and a shark doesn't kill you, that shark is just letting you live.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Did you start to study so much about sharks? So in the inevitable situation, I'm saying this like someday you're actually going to run into a shark. In the situation, if you ever have run into a shark, you'll be prepared for it?
No, I think it started with my fear turning into fascination. Like I go to the aquarium, and like the Ripley's Aquarium downtown has got tons of nurse sharks.
Yeah.
Those guys look creepy.
Yeah.
But I just cannot stop looking at it's now kind of turned into a respect of nature sort of thing. Like I'm not built for extended water control, whereas I'm in a place where predators are built entirely for that. They're like, even if I were to try and like talking about a tuna, I'm outmatched against a tuna, and a tuna runs no risk to me.
Oh,
but here's
dude, tuna are huge. They'll smack you around.
Yeah, but here's a creature
beat you up.
who could literally is trained to eat something that is already much better in water.
Is Aquaman just training these sharks to mess with us?
Maybe.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, so it kind of turned into a respect of nature thing. So I've now kind of just got the fascination with it. I never want to it's never like, hey, let's get into a tank and go to Australia. Let's first go to Australia, then get into a cage and go underwater.
Face your fear, become Shark Man.
I don't think I'd be able to handle it because they move too well. They move too well.
I feel like
I think I would go shark diving.
I feel like there'd be something awesome, and I don't mean like that's awesome, dude, but like full of awe to see a shark moving as efficiently and as fast in the water. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah, I think I would go down in a shark cage.
Yeah,
I think I would. I think I would definitely.
But Brody, you hate adrenaline.
I don't think I would get the adrenaline from it. I think it would be.
Brody's just sitting there, just lazy. He's like, cool shark.
I'm not afraid of you. Flips him the finger.
Well, don't forget, I grew up basically on an island.
On the water.
Yeah. So I spent I was afraid of water for a little bit. And I mean, if I'm in open water.
And that's only because it made him clean.
Yeah.
Never made him feel clean.
I've got this. I'm not going to go into this story. Anyways, I think I would feel safe enough in the shark cage because sharks aren't actually out to eat you.
No, they're not.
Actually out to eat you.
They're not malicious animals.
Yeah, it's not going to see a human and be like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to go eat that one. It's like
until they
down,
acquire a taste.
No, for the most part, like a lot of shark attacks are just the shark not being smart enough to figure out, oh, this isn't my usual prey.
Yeah. It's like, is that a sea lion? I don't fucking care.
Only one way, one surefire way to find out.
Exactly. They probably don't even like us that much. Too many bones.
Too dainty.
Too dainty. Not enough meat. Too much bones. Yeah. I think I would go down in a shark cage.
I would.
But I would do that before I went on a roller coaster. Because it's also cooler, too. It's more interesting.
Would you ever go, like, because I'm thinking, what would I do, like, what would I go into a shark cage or like a shark cage before I like did something else? I wouldn't go spelunking. I would go into a shark cage like surrounded by great whites before I went spelunking.
Nah, because spelunking, elder like gods might be in there. You don't know what's in the cave. You're gonna turn a corner and there's gonna just be Cthulhu hanging out like, hi.
There's so much just basic health and stuff, and you went with elder gods right out of the gates.
Well, yeah. Honestly, I would have gone there too.
It's just so much unknown. I mean, you have to your underwater cave, hit your head, all those things, but also also elder god.
No, yeah, I don't think I would. I don't think I would go spelunking.
I think I would. But I would need to know 100% what I'm doing. I wouldn't be like, I would be a spelunker. Myself. That would be my job.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't trust myself to do it. Also, again, you get into a big, wide open cavern, you fall, you're gonna die, and there's my fear of falling again. Yeah,
yeah. So like
it's dark.
All the fears of spelunking, like I don't really have. I'm not really all that afraid of water. I'm not that afraid of heights. I'm not afraid of the dark all that much. My imagination is what would get to me.
Yeah, it's the
elder
thought
god.
That elder gods might be down there that actually gets you more than anything.
How often are you in a position, Zach, in which it's you, a light that is giving maybe a 4-foot orb of light around you, and then the rest is blackness? Could you imagine that? I can't. I can't imagine how terrifying that would be.
Yeah, I guess like I guess I've never been in advanced darkness before.
And then it's quiet as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like that'd be unsettling, which is part of what makes Lovecraft cool. Yeah. Because he synthesizes that so well, that complete and total darkness and quiet. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that would probably, again, it's not so, it's the imagination part, right? It's like complete quiet, complete sound, and not being able to see my hand when it is here. Yeah. And I'm holding it about 2 feet away from my face for those of you who aren't watching the video podcast, which doesn't exist.
If you guys got the opportunity to go to space, would you do that?
Yeah. In a second.
How?
I would volunteer for like the first colonizers, the ones that get weird, gross things happen to them, like because of.
Oh, I wouldn't go to. I wouldn't go to the new world.
I would like, hands down do it.
Like, would you leave the safety of Earth essentially to go be in the universe?
Dude, space.
The most unknown.
So much, yeah. Like I'd go out there and an elder god could mess my day up. And I'd be like, cool, elder god messed my day up in space. Yeah. Take that, earthlings. I experienced the universe. What did you do?
Based on all my fears, I think I would too.
So
even though like everything about it is terrifying.
You can't fall in space, man.
How are we How are we traveling? Are we going light speed or are we going full relativity?
It's like the Martian.
It's relativity, because if I go out and I come back, everyone I've known has been dead for several hundred years.
I guess that's another facet to it.
Yeah, because that would be. I don't think I could give up the life.
Like I guess I don't mean like going out to travel in space. I mean like getting into a shuttle that is like has been tested and they know it works, but this is like the first civilian shuttle going into space, and like you go in maybe like orbit, go out like past the moon or something and come back.
Could I potentially...
Yeah, but that's all going to be billionaires.
Could I potentially use a shuttle to get out of...
This is a hypothetical, Zach.
Out of orbit and then get into a space dock, which will take me to a...
There aren't space docks.
I just want a space dock, bro.
There aren't space docks.
All I want in this hypothetical.
This is the first shuttle going out. We haven't even started colonizing or anything. We're basically testing civilians going into space.
I just thought of a screenplay.
You wouldn't?
No, I don't think. Because knowing me, I'd be like, I'll catch the next one. I wouldn't care that much.
You wouldn't take that opportunity?
No, it wouldn't be something I fought to do, because if I wanted to get into space, I'd want to do it on my terms. I'd want to be like, hey, here I am sitting in a plane that goes to space for several hours. Okay, that's cool.
But you're in space.
Yeah, but would this be the only experience I would get in space?
No.
Yeah.
This is just your first.
No, I would wait. I'd wait till it's kind of mastered.
You're taking my hypothetical question and making it yours, and it's making me upset.
I thought of a screenplay idea.
I'm waiting for space talk.
No, it's great. So you were talking about the space shuttle, and I was like, billionaires, right?
Why you want to tell the
why do you
world
wanna
about
tell
your?
the
You want
world?
to tell the world about
Keep
your
it secret.
screenplay?
Because
Is it secret?
Because
Is it
I feel
safe?
like I would get in trouble.
gonna cut
Because
all
it's
this out.
literally just Willy Wonka in space.
I'm gonna will it.
You
They
get-
go to space in the elevator.
They do. Yeah, that's the second book in
Yeah.
the series.
The Great Glass Elevator. They go to space.
Yep.
That's phenomenal. But yeah, I was just like, Elon Musk is like, I'm taking civilians into space, buy my Elon Musk power drink, and then if the golden ticket is in there, and then he just spaces people that fail his tests. He just launches you, and then the last one gets his
Had
company.
a stroke. It was just
Did have a stroke.
most of that was not connected.
Yeah, it was.
Kind of.
It kind of was. I get it.
For people who don't speak
get it.
Zack,
It was
it'll
dumb,
be very
but I get it.
difficult.
We haven't talked about my fear of cannibals.
Oh yeah, you have a fear of cannibals.
All right,
Campbell's?
damn.